Hey, everybody. It's another episode of Hey Nonprofits Raise More Money. One of our co-founders and CEO, Jason Ledlow. Every other Wednesday, we're going to be doing 15 minutes with Jay. I think the timing of this episode is really, really poignant, Jay. And we just were talking about it off air, as a matter of fact. You know, the time that this airs, Giving Tuesday will be over. Now what? So Giving Tuesday's over. You're a nonprofit professional, and it's behind you. Now what?
I think for me, when I'm thinking about in the nonprofit world and what, if somebody's asking me what you should be doing, I just think about what season we're in. We're in the season of Thanksgiving, and it is about giving thanks, and giving. If you think about it, but as nonprofits, we're constantly receiving. We're constantly receiving. We're asking for and receiving donations, and we think about it that because everything I think about revolves around fundraising, and this is a time where I think that we need to stop thinking, we've been asking, and now we need to start giving. And I think the way that you can do that, and I think donors really appreciate it, especially when you start thinking about, we're coming up for the year-end appeal, there's going to be this letter is going to go out, is to start thanking them for all the stuff they've done and giving them a clue about what you've been doing for the past year. Show them what their donations of dollars have been doing. Give them, impact of the dollars that they've been giving you, what that means, what it's done, how the lives have been changed, how your mission's being fulfilled. And that's where I think it's all about gratitude. I think the attitude of gratitude it should be in full swing, and to put a plan together to make it intentional, not just reactive gratitude, but really push it forward to say, this is what we're thankful that you've been here. This is what we've done for the past 12 months. And don't ask them for anything. Just give. And then your final year appeal that you're going to have a letter go out to set up for that. That's what I think. As somebody who's been on the board or been a donor, stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff I like seeing. I know there's lots of fundraisers. People have stuff. They've got, we've got to get some more money in because we've got to do that. Let me say, you can do them in parallel. Don't do them in conjunction.
Yeah.
I'm thanking. And then if you've got to still need to do another fundraiser, you've got something else going, do that separately, but let the gratitude stand on its own.
It almost sounds very different. It sounds like you're reverse engineering what folks were typically only thinking about and so laser focused on at the end of the year, especially starting with Giving Tuesday and leading up to it. Mm-hmm. And then the last, 20 some odd days of the year when there's so much giving taking place, it just sounds different than most approaches. And we're constantly saying, be different. That's going to set you apart from other nonprofits that are doing the exact same thing, from other organizations that are doing the exact same thing. Give folks just like a roadmap. I mean, how would you go about that? Picking up the phone, emailing, direct mail piece, social, all the above?
I think you do all the above.
Yeah.
I think that, tier your social media to gratitude about what your mission has done, what you've accomplished, and really celebrate that. Give some specifics, be specific, give people facts and figures and pictures and all those kind of things that you can do. And they can see in 12 seconds, or, 3 seconds. They're going to see that. An email, just to say, an email of gratitude to say, this is everything that we did. Break it down. Don't send a 15 page, break it down into 5 bullet points. Mm-hmm. Maybe you be careful about sending links and all that stuff. But, I think it's really good just to send a letter of a thank you for a great year, whatever you've had going on, and tell people what you would do. You don't want to send everything like you're going to do in your year-end appeal at the end of the year, but pick up the phone, call your top 15 donors and tell them that they're the top 15 donors. Yep. Call your top 25. There's no limit, but if you call those people and just say, you were in our top 10, they really appreciate that. And that means something to them because they're like, wow, okay, well, what's it take to be number one? What would it take to be number one? How far off was I? I mean, those conversations have, and because they want to hear about what's going on, what your plans are, and they're your stakeholders. They're people that are going to be there, that you're going to be asking, and just, it's okay to call them and just say, thank you. Make that phone call without having an ask attached to it.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important. You want to send some personal notes, everybody's sending out Christmas cards and things like that. Yeah. I think that it's a wonderful thing if you were to take a minute and write down, we couldn't have had this great year without your help.
Yeah.
In a handwritten way, get everybody all out to do it and just write something down. I mean, there's just ways you can do it. I think those things are very effective for
Yeah.
donors, for people that are in the mind, stop when they get it. It's just always a pleasant surprise to be thanked.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep talking about and touching on hospitality and whatnot. It just keeps on circulating, but how you made these folks feel is something
Yeah.
that can't be overlooked, right? And that personal touch or that phone call, just a random act of thank you. You said something also about, sending out a note, and a lot of folks are going to be sending out letters where they thank and then they ask at the same time. And you're advising that folks don't cross the streams there.
Well, my opinion is whenever somebody says thank you, hey, thanks for everything you did. By the way, could you hand me some more money? Well, it's like they gave me the thank you and then they took it back. It's not really a thank you. It's just an opening
Yeah.
for them to ask me for some more money. I'm saying separate the two.
Yeah.
Separate them, have them to be something different. So that way it's really just gratitude. There's no strings attached. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, would you, I like to have them separate. I think that it needs to be focused, and I think it means a lot. It means a lot to me whenever I get a note from an organization that we've helped or I've donated to personally, and somebody says, you really helped us, get over the deal. This is what it did. This is what that did. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to my wife whenever she sees that, those things just in our house. But it doesn't feel the same whenever I get one. And I'm just talking about a feeling. It's not the same feeling as whenever I see it and I open it up and it's, hey, thanks for everything you did. By the way, here's another card to give. If you're going to ask for money, ask for money. If you're looking to raise money, raise money. But if you're going to do gratitude, just do gratitude.
Yeah. But you're also talking about how it's a big misstep with what's going on in the season that we're in right now, not to have that be a focus, create a campaign around thank you, around gratitude simultaneously, but not the same as, your year-end appeals and what you're doing and what you're going to end up inviting folks to give to and what have you, because you need to do that because you need to keep, get new business in the door. It's interesting. It sounds like we're almost nudging folks to like retrain their mind, because obviously so many folks are thank you. And then you just talked about how that made you feel. It doesn't make you feel great. It feels like there's strings attached. So you're kind of like nudging people to go, hey, thank you. And then
Yeah,
like
and I want to be
retrain the
clear.
mind,
I
man.
want to make sure everybody understands.
Yeah.
If I call you up, Trevor, and I'm saying, "Hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate everything that you did this year. Thanks for the donations. We were able to send 25 kids to camp because of all the work that you did and the money that you donated." And you go, "Wow, that's cool. Well, what would it take for we need to send 50 kids to camp next year?" And you start the conversation. That's different because then we start talking about impact. I'm not asking you for anything. You're talking about giving, and that's a different conversation. And those are conversations that can happen when you walk in with just giving gratitude, just letting them know what it is.
Question. Yeah, I just
So,
think that's such a great lead in. Yeah.
well, it's always a pleasant surprise to get that phone call because you know who it is.
Right.
If you're a top donor to an organization, the executive director is calling you. Well, hopefully it's not the first time they've called you, and they pick up the phone. You go, hey Jan, how's it going? And hey, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done. And we really able to do some cool stuff this year. And we really appreciate you and hope you have a great holiday. That's it. That's all you have to do. That means a lot because, you're kind of waiting. Oh, I wonder what she wants this time.
Yeah.
Because, the last 2 times she's called you, she's asking you for something. And I think that's a really valuable thing that people can have, that the impact is a lot more important than you would think it is. And the effort that it takes, it's worth that effort.
No question.
Because at the year end, a nonprofit, you're busy as all get out. You're trying to get everything wrapped up, all the things that you've got going on, wrapping up the year. And you're going, yeah, I've got 72 things and this wasn't one of them. We're going to do that in our thank you letter or our year-end appeal. My recommendation is if you really want to set the bar, do it separately and do it before. Because then when they do get the year-end appeal, they're going to remember that phone call. They're going to remember that card. They're going to remember that email, that text, that note that they got.
How'd you make them feel?
Yeah.
So big. So big. I also thought of something just now, because you're off air. You're just talking about the season that we're in right now. And I think it's interesting to take a step back and look at how those folks that are getting those phone calls from you or getting those letters, how they're feeling. Chances are they're probably feeling a lot of pressure. I think inevitably folks do around this time of year, and how that can kind of help relieve the pressure, so to speak. Right. Just like, it's just so different. Like, oh, everyone's, it's all coming down on me, and I gotta do this, and I'm juggling that, and we got the family in town, I'm traveling, the yacht, this and that. And then someone just called to tell me thank you. I think that's huge. I don't think that can be overlooked. I just
Well,
love
I
that.
think
I
what a
love that you said
pleasant
it.
surprise it would be if somebody calls and you go to their voicemail and you just go, "Hey, I don't need a call back. I just want to wish you a very, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for everything that you did. Because of your work, we were able to do something, something." And they hear that. That's a kind of a nice thing to see a voicemail. That'd be a nice thing to hear and to get that versus it's just another ask or something like that.
I love it, man. Yeah, I think folks need to hear that. That's for sure. I just think once it
Yeah.
just all the things that we've always talked about, it's different. It interrupts the loop.
Yeah.
You're putting thank you first before
We
asking.
just yesterday I had a call with my co-writer on the book that we're working on, and we were talking about gratitude,
Mhm.
and it was just a chapter on gratitude and how all that works. And I think it's the same for all things. It just if you plan for it, it's going to come real easy. If you don't, then you're just reactive and you miss,
Yeah.
and you go, "Oh, well, we'll do that next time." And the benefit and the organizations that have a plan of gratitude where they plan it out and they execute it are far more successful than the ones that just do it reactively.
Is it so important, this idea that you have, that you get everyone together and do a 60-minute, just a session? We're starting this gratitude campaign. Like if you were an organization of 3 people, 10 people, you would take it that seriously where you get everyone
Absolutely.
together. Yeah. And
Yeah, I
brainstorm it.
would say
Yeah.
these are the things we're going to do.
Yep.
This is how we're going to break it down. We're going to, we're going to take our top 20 and I'm going to call them. Our next 20, Trevor, you're going to call. The next 20 there, Ryan's going to call. And we're going to call, and here's the message that we're going to do. This is what I want you to, this is how we're going to say it, what we're going to do. We don't need to say, "Hey, would you give me a call back?" We don't need to get into play phone tag. That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to add burden. We're just trying to say thank you.
Yeah. So good.
Do a video text. Gosh, you could do a little simple video text. I got one the other day. It was so nice. I made a donation to a friend of mine asked me, they were matching. It was a match donation. I donated some money. It was for a church camp. They were buying some land. And he put a video together, the director of the camp, and said out there at the land and said, "Hey, we got it done. We bought the land debt free." That meant a lot to me just seeing that happen.
Yeah.
I didn't need a phone call, didn't need anything else, just a text message with a video. And I was like, wow, that's really awesome.
How cool is that? How thoughtful
Yeah.
is that? How many times? And I know that folks have a lot of fear about putting them, flipping the camera around and doing that. But like Jason said, it hits you right in the chest and has such an amazing impact on you and your
Oh,
day.
I got the biggest warm fuzzy over
How
that
cool is
deal.
that?
And
Yeah.
I was like, well, man, I'm glad that I was so glad to be a part of it.
I love that. Hey, everybody, if you want more great ideas from Jason, once again, the most prolific mind in fundraising, reach out to him. Free coaching, no strings attached, anything fundraising. Jason at hgafundraising.com if you want to reach out to him directly, or just go to hgafundraising.com and click the free coaching button on resources.
We'll share some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Our time is free. It'll be invaluable for you. Invite whoever you want from your staff or volunteers or board or anything like that. And we can assure you that you'll get something out of it, just like you did out of this episode. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the first 15 minutes with Jay. Man, I like it. We're going to give the people not just what they need, but what they want with this. This is fantastic. Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Glad to share. I'll see you
Later.